All right, everybody, welcome back. We are back with another deep dive. And today we're going to be talking about something really cool and I think really relevant to everyone out there.
Absolutely.
We are going to be talking about AI.
Hmm.
And
Mhm.
more specifically, we're going to be looking at the applications for smart homes and smart buildings.
Yeah.
So this should be a really interesting one. Our source material today kind of goes into the differences between just regular automation and then this next level of automation we're going to be talking about, which is AI driven automation.
Right.
So the stuff in here, it's pretty wild. I think a lot of people are going to be pretty surprised by some of the things that are already being done and some of the things that are in the works with this technology.
Definitely. And especially as it relates to, actually implementing it into our own lives.
Yeah. I mean, that's one of the things that I thought was most interesting about this source material is, we're not just talking about like, robots that can like, vacuum our floors or something like that.
Are you?
We're talking about like these systems that are actually like learning our behavior
Mm-hmm.
and adapting to our needs
Yeah.
and actually like anticipating our needs.
We're
Which,
predicting them and
yeah,
helping us to live better.
like that's kind of freaky to me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
That's next level
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
Like, so like, it's not just like, I mean, we're all used to like, a smart speaker or whatever,
Mm.
being like, oh, play my, my favorite song.
Right.
But what the source material is talking about is like, your house, like knowing you so well
Right.
that it can like anticipate like, oh, it's 7 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
Um, you know, this person usually likes to like, watch a movie at this time.
Yeah. Right.
Let me, dim the lights and like
Exactly.
turn on their home theater system or something.
Yeah, and it's interesting you say that because, the source material actually specifically talks about smart thermostats as a great example.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and this is something that people I think are, pretty familiar with at this point, but it's more than just setting a schedule,
Right.
It's AI that learns from your behavior and adjusts the temperature
Okay.
based on, your preferences and also taking into account things like the weather outside.
Yeah.
If it's a particularly hot day, it may pre-cool the house
Oh, wow.
before you even get home so that it's nice and comfortable when you walk in the door.
That's really cool.
Things like that.
Yeah, that is really cool.
Yeah.
And I like that it's doing all that stuff, but it's also like saving energy,
Exactly right.
which is a huge, I mean, that's something that I think we all deal about,
Yes.
these days. You know, reducing our energy consumption
Yeah.
and our carbon footprint and all that stuff.
And that's a big part of what this is all about. It's about sustainability
Yeah.
as well as convenience and comfort.
Yeah. And so like, okay, so we've got like, the thermostat example, but it's not just about comfort.
Right.
Right. I mean, the source material also talks about like using the same kind of technology for home security.
Yes, and that's another area where AI can really shine.
Okay.
Instead of just relying on basic motion sensors, AI can analyze data from a variety of sources, like you mentioned, security cameras,
Yeah.
doorbell cameras, even microphones to detect unusual activity.
So it can like differentiate between like the sound of like
Exactly.
a window breaking versus like, my dog knocking something over.
Exactly. Or, a car driving by versus somebody actually trying to break into your house.
Yeah. Yeah. That's amazing.
It's pretty incredible the level of sophistication.
Yeah. So how does that work? Like, how does it learn?
Yeah. Well, it all comes down to pattern recognition
Yes.
and machine learning. So the AI is constantly analyzing data,
Okay.
looking for patterns and anomalies, and over time it learns what's normal for your home
Right.
and what's not.
So it's like it's building like a baseline
Exactly.
of like what my normal activity is.
Exactly.
And then if anything deviates from that,
That's when it flags it as potential, security threat.
then it knows to like alert me
Mm-hmm.
or do something.
Right. And it can even, take action like, contacting the authorities if necessary.
Wow, that's incredible. And it's funny because we as humans, like we do all this stuff like without even thinking about it.
Right.
Like we can recognize the sound of our own dog. We can recognize, like if something's out of place or whatever.
Right.
But like to teach a machine to do that is like,
It's mind-blowing.
yeah, it's mind blowing.
Yeah.
And so like, like facial recognition is another thing that like people talk about a lot. And that that seems like something that would be like really applicable to this kind of technology.
Absolutely. And it's already being used, in some smart home systems. You can use facial recognition to unlock doors
Okay.
or to disarm your security system.
That,
And it's incredibly
that knows
it's
who I am, and it
yes.
knows like,
It can distinguish between you and other members of your family
oh,
and even, visitors.
yeah, yeah.
So it's very, very powerful.
That's really cool. And so, okay, so we've talked about like, comfort. We've talked about security, but like, there's also this whole other aspect of like,
Right.
AI being able to like take care of things for us.
Yes. Predictive maintenance.
Yeah, yeah, like predictive
Yeah,
maintenance.
that's a huge one.
So like, what is that?
So essentially, it's using AI to anticipate potential problems in your home
Okay.
before they become major issues. So think of it like this. You take your car to the mechanic for regular checkups
Mm.
to make sure everything's running smoothly.
Right.
Well, AI can do the same thing for your home.
So like, if my like, hot water heater is about to like
Exactly.
go out, it'll know.
It can detect those subtle signs
Wow.
that something's not right.
So how does it do that? Like, is it like listening to like the sounds that it's making, or?
It can use a variety of sensors.
Okay.
So it can monitor things like water pressure, vibration, temperature, electrical current,
Okay.
all sorts of data points, and then it analyzes that data
Okay.
to look for patterns that might indicate a problem.
So it's like it's constantly like monitoring all the systems in my house.
Exactly. It's like having a 24/7 flow
Ah.
inspector on duty.
That's amazing.
Yeah,
And so like that could potentially save people like a lot of money.
absolutely. Because,
Well, yeah.
catching problems early
Right.
can prevent, those major costly repairs down the road.
Yeah, like if your hot water heater goes out and like floods your basement, like that's a nightmare.
It's exactly a nightmare and an expensive one
Yeah.
at that.
So this could like prevent that kind of stuff from happening.
Exactly. And it can also help to extend the life of your appliances and systems
Oh, wow.
because, you're addressing those minor issues before they become major problems.
That's really cool.
So yeah, it's a really powerful technology.
Yeah. And so like we've talked about like all these different applications, like the comfort, the security, the maintenance.
Mm-hmm.
Like it seems like AI could really like fundamentally change the way we live in our homes.
Absolutely. And I think we're just scratching the surface
Yeah.
of what's possible.
Yeah, like what are some of the things that like you think are coming down the pike that are going to be like even more?
Well, I think we're going to see even more personalization.
Yeah.
So imagine, your home environment adapting to your individual preferences.
Like what do you mean?
So let's say you like to have your bedroom a little bit cooler at night
Mm-hmm.
than your partner does. AI can actually create personalized climate zones within your home.
Oh, wow.
So each room can be tailored to the specific needs of the occupants.
That's wild.
Yeah, or adaptive lighting that automatically adjusts brightness and color temperature throughout the day.
So it's like if it's like, the afternoon and I need to be like more productive.
Exactly. It can create a more stimulating environment.
It'll like brighten things up.
Exactly. And then as the evening approaches,
Yeah.
it can shift to a warmer, more relaxing
Oh, that's really cool.
tone to help you wind down for the night.
That's really cool.
So, it's really about creating a truly personalized and responsive living environment.
So it's not just about making our homes smarter.
Right.
It's about making them like better for us.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really fascinating.
And I think that's the ultimate goal, to use AI to enhance our lives
Mm.
and to create spaces that are truly in harmony with our needs and preferences. Yeah, so like as we kind of wrap up here, like what do you think are some of the like the big takeaways that people should be thinking about,
Mhm.
as they learn about this technology?
Well, I think the biggest takeaway is that, AI is no longer science fiction.
Right.
It's here and it's already starting to transform our homes and our lives.
Yeah.
And I think it's important for people to be aware of the possibilities
Mm-hmm.
and to start thinking about, how they want to incorporate this technology into their own lives.
Yeah. Yeah. Because it really does seem like it has the potential to like
To make our homes more comfortable,
Yeah.
more efficient, more secure, and ultimately more enjoyable to live in.
yeah. And I think that's a really powerful thing.
It is.
And so, as we're stepping into this like new era of intelligent living spaces,
Mm.
like what do you think are like the big questions that people should be asking themselves?
I think that the biggest question is, what kind of future home do you want to create?
Well,
What are your priorities? What are your values? And how can AI help you achieve them?
wow.
That's a really good question.
Because it's not just about the technology itself.
Right.
It's about how we use it to create a better future for ourselves and for the planet.
Yeah, I love it. And I think that's a really great place to leave it.
Absolutely.
We've covered a lot of ground today.
Yeah.
We've talked about how AI can make our homes more comfortable, more efficient, more secure, and really just like a better place to be
And more personalized.
and more personalized.
Yeah,
And I think that's something that's really exciting,
absolutely.
to think about like, the future of our homes
Yeah,
and how AI can help us create, the spaces that we've always dreamed of.
I agree.
So thanks for joining us for this deep dive, and we'll see you next time.
See you next time.
All right. Bye.